Today is your guys' special day. I'm going to let you know how to avoid getting scammed out of your trademark or out of money based on your trademark. I am Dave, 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from patents, trade secrets, copyrights, and the topic of discussion today, trademarks. You see the shirt on IP. So I want you guys to go out, create, invent, build, protect the IP, and monetize off of it. And I thought this video was important because for whatever reason lately, I've been getting a lot of emails, text messages from clients and from non-clients. They're sending me paperwork from a potential scammer who's trying to get them to essentially pay them money in exchange for them renewing their trademark that they have with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And I am going to pull up one of those documents here in a little bit and show you why this is a scam, and hopefully you guys get something out of this, and let you guys know what not to do and how you can check and fairly easily see when your renewal date is for your trademark, as well as to kind of be able to confirm the registration date, things of that sort. So as I'm pulling up this document, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, as well as to hit the subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. I would love to have you as part of the community. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. This is from the Trademark Renewal Service. Now, I'm not sure who the Trademark Renewal Service is. It seems like they have a website, trademarkrenewalservice.com. I would imagine that more information pops up if you was to put in that on the type that in the browser. But this is a correspondence that they typically would send out. And this is from, in this case, the correspondence, I blotted out the correspondence address, but it's for the Oaks Law Group. And the trademark that the Oaks Law Group, which, as you might expect, is a law firm, the trademark that they have registered is "Don't Talk, Call Your Mouthpiece." This is the registration number. This is the number of classes, which is class 45, which you see down here below. And that is for legal. Now, when you file a trademark, for those of you who've been following my channel for any length of time, I'll bring it back on myself here a little bit. When you file a trademark, you have to go into the class that you're operating in. You're not going to file a trademark and get everything under the sun protected. It doesn't work like that. If you're doing clothes or selling clothes, you have to file your trademark in class 25, which deals with goods and apparel. If you are doing legal services, you have to protect it in class 45. If you are doing a nonprofit or whatever the case may be, you have to protect it in that class. Now, the good thing is you can protect your trademark in a number of classes if you're operating in those classes, but you don't necessarily have to. You can file it in one class originally and then kind of build up and file it in additional classes as time goes on. So again, I did want to kind of say that. So in this case, with the Oaks Law Group, they have the trademark name "Don't Talk, Call Your Mouthpiece" in one class, and that class is class 45. So as you can tell already, this the form it's interesting because it has a lot of accurate information. Now, this information is all available to anyone who wants it, just because it's a registered trademark, and as part of having a registered trademark, they're going to disclose certain information. But when you're talking about the trademark name, "Don't Talk, Call Your Mouthpiece," the registration number that you have here, the number of classes, all that is actually accurate information. But as you go down, this is where things start to kind of diverge or get a little inaccurate. And you can tell the graphic representation, "Don't Talk, Call Your Mouthpiece." Now, it's a service mark. It's registered on a principal registrar. And let me bring it back on myself. So trademarks last forever as long as you're using the trademark. Again, patents, they last for 20 years if it's a utility patent. Design patents last for 15 years. Copyrights last for the life of the author plus 70 years. Trademark, it lasts forever as long as you're using it. However, you have maintenance fees that you have to pay. And typically, the first maintenance fee, you are able to pay between the 5th and 6th year mark from the registration date. And then you have to actually renew it, I think, between the 9th and 10th year. And then after that, first renewal, then you just have to renew your trademark every 10 years. Or essentially, you have to pay government money and show them, provide a specimen, provide information showing that you're still using the mark in commerce or using the mark as a trademark. But kind of let me say that again for the people in the back. Trademarks last forever. However, you have to continue to renew them, and part of that renewal is paying the USPTO a fee, which I think is $225 for the maintenance fee for the USPTO, and then whatever, if you're doing it yourself, it's free. But if you're paying an attorney, you pay them whatever agreement or whatever fee you guys have worked out. But these fees, typically, the first fee, the first renewal period, You can start that process between the 5th and 6th year mark from the registration date. You'll officially renew between the 9th and the 10th year. And then after that first renewal process or period is complete, you just have to renew your trademark every 10 years. So I do want to point that out because I think that's going to be important as we come to this thing. And as they say, hey, your trademark is about to expire. This is what the form from Trademark Renewal Service is telling the Oaks Law Group. And they send these out to a number of people because, again, all this information is available on the USPTO website. And they're trying to essentially get you to pay money to them. And what you're thinking is the money that you give to the Trademark Renewal Service, they're going to turn around and pay your maintenance fees. But the reason that, again, this can be extremely detrimental to you because, number one, I'm not sure if they're even paying your maintenance fees. They're definitely charging you more money than what they should be charging you. And they may not even pay your maintenance fees. So now you done got scammed out of money. And if they don't pay your maintenance fees, and your trademark goes abandoned or expires as a result of it, now you no longer have a trademark and have to go back in line to try to file a trademark all over again, file a trademark application all over again to get your trademark. So this is extremely important because, again, if you pay money to these people, you're definitely overpaying for them renewing your trademark. But who's to say they may not even renew your trademark? So now you done overpaid them, and your trademark has gone abandoned potentially because you didn't pay the maintenance fees, and now you have to start all over. So this is extremely important, and this is why this video, you need to actually, you should be taking notes based on the things that I'm saying. So your trademark is about to expire. Renewal date is January 9th, 2025. Your trademark registration requires a filing between the 5th and the 6th years after registration to remain valid. Sign and return this document in order to renew your trademark. So again, you don't know who you're talking to. They don't give you a name. They don't give you none of that. They're just holding themselves out as trademarkrenewalservice.com. And they're saying, hey, fill out this form. And as you go to the important information, what they're saying, your trademark will be renewed for this period, for the period of another 5 years. The renewal fee is $12.50. So I just told you the fee for renewing something with the USPTO is $225 for one class. They're charging you $1,250. And then they're saying for each additional class is $650 for the whole period of 5 years. Then they're pretty much saying that this is going to renew it for another 5 years. And what did I just say? When you renew your trademark, it's good for 10 years. It's not good for 5 years. When you renew your trademark, especially the first time, it's good for 10 years. You just have to continue to renew it every 10 years. So the fact that they're saying, hey, we're going to renew your trademark, you're going to overpay us because as opposed to paying the actual renewal fee, which is $225, maybe they're putting their tax on top of it, which I guess is a little bit over $1,000, which is crazy. If anybody charge you $1,000 to renew your trademark as a like time spent or attorney time in this case, I would definitely run. But they're even mistaken because they're saying, hey, this is going to be good for 5 years, and that's not true. This is good for 10 years. When you renew your trademark, it's good for another 10 years. So again, just be aware when you sign your name and kind of give them your money without checking or watching this video, then you may be SOL. So let's go back to this thing, and I'm gonna show you how the information starts to get inaccurate. So this information is good: the registration number, the trademark name, the number of classes. Heck, they even got the name, your company name, Oak Law Group, and they got the address is accurate information. But as you get down here, they have the renewal date is January 9th, 2025. I'm gonna show you how this is inaccurate. They have the filing date 2019. They have the date and location. I'm not even sure what the date and location means. They have the registration date January 9th, 2020. And as I said before, you have 5. You can start this process between the 5th and the 6th years from the registration date. So they're saying, hey, if your registration date is January 9th, 2020, January 9th, 2025 is that 5th year mark. So you're like, okay, that sounds accurate. So I need to start this process. And people, like I said, I get a ton of these documents via text, via email from not only prospective clients, but actual clients, because they don't know what's going on. So this can apply to a small shop. This can apply to a big shop who's like, man, okay, just give them the $1,200 and we'll renew it. Or this can apply to the solo person who's just trying to, protect their brand and kind of do work, and they're not really thinking about it because they don't really know, and they're trying to cut corners, and they're like, oh, somebody's trying to look out for me. Let's pay them this money so that they can renew my trademark, and it's going to be good for another 5 years. So, and again, the serial number is even accurate. So the serial number is actually accurate along with the registration number. But just keep this in mind. They have the registration date, January 19, 2020. They have the filing date, June 28, 2019. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to go to the USPTO website. because this is something that you all can quickly check and make sure if what they're telling you guys is accurate. Let me share my screen here. So we just talked about how, and this is, and I already did this ahead of time, but what if you got the registration number, you can see up top, hopefully you guys see my cursor. If you got the registration number or your serial number, which is provided in a document that I just showed you from the scamming company, you can type it in here and hit status, and it's going to pull up what I have here. So it's going to give you the status of the mark, which again, in this case, you see, don't talk, call your mouthpiece. You see the serial number, you see the registration number, which again is the same as what was provided. So all this stuff is accurate. The serial number, the registration number, they're giving you accurate information. They're giving you accurate, the mark is actually accurate. But again, this is where it starts to deviate. The filing date, the actual filing date this is the United States Patent and Trademark Database. So if you go to the test database and search a mark, you can also kind of pull it up from this way. But this is what I'm showing you now is actually from the United States Patent and Trademark Office. This is not from a scamming company. This is not something that I created. This is an actual USPTO database. I'm not sure if you kind of see the browser, but it even says uspto.gov. So this, what we're looking at now, is an actual USPTO database. So it's going to give you accurate information. So the registration date is January 19, 2021. Our registration date on the scammer form says January 19, 2020. So they're pushing everything a year early. They have the application filing date. The USPTO, the actual filing date is June 28, 2020. The scammer form, as I'm looking at, is June 28, 2019. So they're pushed up everything a year. And the reason that they do that is because, and I'll show you a little bit more in detail in a little bit, but the USPTO sends you communication. They're going to send it to you. They're going to send it to your attorney if you have one. They're going to send you information or communication saying, hey, you have to renew your forms. And the scamming company, they're trying to send you this stuff a year in advance, because if you get that communication from the USPTO, you're going to know the real, but they're trying to, the scamming company is actually trying to provide you this document for you to sign and return along with the money a year ahead of time, so that they can scam you before the USPTO actually gives you an actual official communication saying that you have to renew it. So I just showed you, they pushed up the registration date on the actual of the mark by a year. They pushed up the application filing date for a year. They're trying to get you to pay this money ahead of time. So let me go back to the actual USPTO database. So this is the status of the mark. So if you go to the documents of the mark, it has the registration certificate. Again, that was mailed out January 19th of 2021. And then, like I said, the scamming form, it has that registration date being January 19th of 2020. So it's a year earlier than the actual date. But the crazy thing is, once the USPTO sends you a communication, that communication would be under the documents tab. They're going to show you, just like they have all this stuff, the next line item will be whatever date it is. They're going to say, hey, communication sent for renewal. So they're going to let you know when they sent that date to renewal. So the fact that you're looking at the documents tab and it doesn't have a communication from the USPTO that you need to renew it, that's another reason that you know that the scamming document, the document is a scam from the scammers. Another thing, the maintenance fees, they're actually telling you the earliest date that you can file this is January 19th of 2026. So they're telling you, whereas again, the scamming document is saying, hey, your renewal date is January 19th of 2025. So just by going to the test database, go to the trademark that you're trying to look at, type in your serial number or the registration number. You can actually pull up this information to quickly tell whether or not your the document that you receive is a scam or not. Again, the status, you can look at the registration date, you can look at the application filing date, and it should match this. This is from the actual USPTO. I know I'm saying that a lot of times, but I want to make it clear. This website that we're on is from the USPTO, from the actual United States Patent and Trademark Office. And this information, the information that you're getting on any communication from a scammer or a third party, should match this information. And as you can tell, and I'll kind of close it out on the scamming document, but the registration date on the scamming document is a year earlier. The application filing date is a year earlier. Now, the serial number and the registration number is actually the same, but the application filing date as well as the registration date on the scamming document is a year earlier. Also, again, if you go to the documents, it doesn't show that the communication or USPTO has sent you a communication about renewal. Once they send it to you, they will update this document tab to include that communication. And then the last but not least is the maintenance tab. They're telling you when you have to pay your maintenance fees. The earliest date you can file it is January 19, 2026. The latest day you can file it without paying an additional fee is January 9, 2027. And they give you 6 months. So, but you have to pay a fee January 2027. Again, the scamming document is saying January 9th, 2025. So if you give these guys your money, and let me bring it back on myself. If you give your, fill out this scamming document and send them some money, $1,250, which is way more than what you should be sending out. If you send the scamming people your money and you have 3 different checks, you can check the information on the status, on the status page of the USPTO to make sure it matches up. You can the documents the USPTO will send you out, or it'll be a communication link to show you that they sent you out a document about paying your maintenance fees. So if you don't see that on the documents tab of the actual USPTO website, that should be a second red flag. And a third red flag, when you click on the maintenance tab, they're telling you when your maintenance fees are due. So at the form from the scammers that you get, they're saying the renewal date is different from what your maintenance fees on the actual USPTO website is saying. Then you should know that is the document that somebody's trying to scam you out of some money. I am gonna go to here because I know some of you guys may ask me, how do I actually go here? So shoot, let me see here. Let me go back here. So this is the last one. So if you go to the test database, so if you go to Google and type in test, let me see if I can do it. Brand new. Is this going, what's the name? Okay, here we go. So if you type in test, I'm doing it from the beginning. It's going to be the trademark search database. Type in that. It's going to be this green link. Hit that, and then type in a trademark that you're trying to figure out. Don't talk. In this case, don't talk. Call your mouthpiece. I'm gonna go to the live marks. You see it's coming up here. Click on that, and then it's gonna bring you. Oh shoot. Well, you guys can't see it, but when you click on this, don't talk, call your mouthpiece, it's going to bring you to the actual tab that we've been talking about all along, that has the status, documents, and maintenance tabs. So again, that's it. I'm not sure what else to give you guys as far as information. Again, as we close out here, let's go to the scamming document one more time, because I do not want you guys to get scammed paying some money to a company that you think is paying your trademark renewal. Again, as we just saw, the renewal date is actually the 2026, not 2025. So that's the first red flag. They have the filing date is 2019 and it's actually 2020. I'm not sure what this date and location means, but the registration date they have is 2020 when the registration date was actually January 19th, 2021. So they push everything up a year in an attempt to get you to pay some money before the communication or the USPTO lets you know that you actually have to pay them money to renew your trademark. And if you pay them money, $1,250, you're paying about $1,000 more than what you should be paying the USPTO to register your trademark. And they're probably seem like they're going to try to hit you up again 5 years down the line, because they're saying that this trademark is going to be renewed for a period of 5 years. And well, in fact, the trademark is actually, once you renew it, it's good for 10 years. So you have to renew it again in 10 years, not 5 years. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video. Please hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. If you did, I would love to have you a part of the IP community where we're talking about intellectual property, whether it's trademarks, whether it's patents, whether it's copyrights. We break down Shark Tank videos. I bring up people who who've kind of started a business around their IP, got it protected, and are monetizing off of it. What else we do? We do current events from an IP perspective. We break down lawsuits. We do a ton of things. But after I got this for the umpteenth time today, I said I got to do a video trying to help you to avoid getting scammed. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video. I'll see you guys next time.